Good afternoon. Welcome to the stream. There seems to be, again, issues with the frames. Seems to be let's see for a minute. Let's try to fix it. Otherwise, there's really no point in continuing here. What is weird is that I have a 0% packet loss in one program and then 72% in the other. It's so weird. It might have something to do with, like, I have the server select, I have it set on auto select, so maybe it shows a bad server. Like, on a very rare occasion it happens. I don't know why exactly, but we'll see. Like, if the stream, if it's unwatchable, do let me know. Then I'll try to restart. Hopefully it stabilizes. No idea what causes it. But let's try to jump in. I have a stain on my t-shirt. It's because of these outrageous European bottle caps. Like, you know, this one. Whoever approved of that and invented that should be forced to open these bottles for the rest of his pathetic life. Because holy shit, it's annoying. Thank you so much, EU, I mean. What a terrible organization it is. But anyway, let's see what we can do today on our base. We actually did a fair bit of work here. I think this is, for the most part, completed. Let's jump in. Oh yeah, the let's see, the bubbles. Probably wanna shrink this a little bit in size and place it somewhere over here. Like there maybe, so we can actually see the bubbles. So let's have a look first. Yeah, that is also true. As you can see, I updated finally to UZDo. Long overdue, I know. That is actually not too bad. Can we actually see the bubbles? No, we cannot. That's a bit of a shame. Well, just a tiny bit maybe. Let's see. We have a couple here, which need to be spread out a little bit. No. Okay, no worries. So for the bubbles, might shrink it a little bit further. And maybe bring them in a little closer like this. 64, let's use 32. For the vines, I think this one. 1090. 460. Alright, let's have a look. They are grouped together, but it's okay. Actually, they adjust pretty well to... I thought it was going to give an issue. Like, again, I'm dropping frames. Alright, let's restart real quick. Because this is not going to work. Okay, kind of wonder, does this session just continue? That was kind of cool actually, that it uses the same like that's interesting. I could just switch like Streamlabs, I can switch it on and off. Normally if I did that, you know, back when I was using like Restream, it would shut off completely and actually it would kind of produce a new video. But I think this time it just stays in one video even if I go offline for a bit. I think. Well, I think it... Yeah, I think it actually is better now. Okay. Well, we'll keep monitoring. That's good. That's... yeah. Okay. So the vines, or well, the weed actually spreads out pretty nicely, and I thought it would like give an issue because there's only like one sprite, and this is all generated around it, but it actually it follows the slope very nicely. So that's good, great. And these ones as well. Okay, so we got that solved. Now let's have a look at the bubbles. And I place them a little closer because maybe like the mist is a little... Well, let's leave it like... Let's leave it like this for now because we can always... oh wait. Probably add some weed here as well. We're gonna, instead of a patch, we're just gonna use some individual ones. Think like that. would be enough. Two, three, four. Right. There we go. No, let's actually do it without the monsters. Yeah, that is good enough. Well, maybe I should place a few more at the top level there. Maybe here as well. But it became a convincing underwater scene. Actually the wheat is fine on that lamp, although maybe put a little further away. So let's actually just copy this one. That's too far away. Like that. Okay, and something for here as well. Patch 4. Let's see. Let's use 5. Too bad you can't see it in the editor, so you have to maybe place it a little further away, just a little bit. Here. Okay. So that's gonna be it. So I think this area is completed. Now this is obviously a part where the player is not going to visit. So it's inaccessible, which means there's not really much work, too much work required. Like we can leave it like this. There's no need to detail this part of the building here. So that's all good. So that means we're done here, and we can actually focus on the next part. Now I did try to integrate a few Doom 3 textures, which actually proved to be quite... Oh, just a second. Okay. And I try to carefully try to drink. Fucking bottle caps. I hate the European Union so much. Okay. On to the next thing, and that is well, actually, let's try to find a few options where we can use the Doom 3 textures. Actually, I did something here. Hey, what is up, buddy? Welcome. Good to see you. Happy that you caught a stream. I try to do like once a week. Normally I start later because I have to work. In the weekends, I usually in the morning. But I'm from Belgium, so I don't know where you're from, so the hours might differ. Now it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon here. I think once a week during work weeks, I try to work from home, and this allows me to quit a little earlier, so it allows me to stream earlier as well. So, but it's not really like a set day in a week. It can vary, but you know, it's always going to be a problem, and it's when you're streaming like to different parts of the world, I guess. But it's good to have you here now. And of course, you know, every stream is like saved on YouTube, so but it's I can imagine it's different to catch one live. But they ever so often happen at different times. So I think, I'm not really sure, like notification will probably help. I'm not really sure what the algorithm nowadays. You know, that's. We're gonna. I kind of want to start working on this area, which is the logical. Sweden. Okay, yeah, it's not too different. Okay. Maybe an hour? 2, maybe? Not really sure. Okay. Let's see if we can actually change this. It's 96. It's a little darker, but I need to obscure things. And what we need to do is I'm gonna leave it like this for a minute, so it's easier to recognize what I did and what I changed and what I didn't change yet. So now the hard part of this whole operation, converting one of my older maps into an underwater base. This part was easy because it's just a basic, simple landscape. Nothing too much going on here. But here, this is going to be something different because this bridge obviously has to be replaced by a sealed off underwater tunnel. Kind of like, it's going to take a little bit of inspiration from BioShock, which, you know, was a super atmospheric game. However, if you're using a non-3D editing tool for a non-3D engine, it's a little more complicated to make those tunnels. And one of the more difficult sections is actually that I have to create. We can actually, I think, we can remove these because I have to create like a sort of airlock. Well, actually, it's not really necessary an airlock because you don't really like. I kind of want to create airlocks. You know, that actually gives me an idea. There, I can actually do like a section where you need to swim. I think it would be cool if I wait a minute, I got an idea. There is a lot going on in my mind right now. I'm still considering, like, should I just use an underwater tunnel? Should I use an airlock and make this area swimmable? I don't know yet, actually. We should probably start by, let's remove these, because I kind of need some room to design my connection, even if it's not going to be an airlock. Can remove that tag. Okay. We can actually, just to save look, we can remove this bridge as well. We're gonna simplify the surrounding area a little bit because I have to, you know, keep some. I have to reserve some room for. Let's see. Let's actually. Let's remove these. Hold on, just maybe like. Hold on, just a second. Actually, these trees, I initially thought there was no use for them. However, I think I can actually create like a very, like a garden, like they, like they have in BioShock, like you know, to have some green in there as well. I think that would probably look nice. Now, I don't really have a a base that is set up for that specifically. However, this can actually be like a garden area. This might be suited. I added these boxes here, but oh, we'll see. Or let's see if I can find something. Or maybe in a later section. Maybe here. No, I'm not really. We'll see. But the potential is there at least. Over here, perhaps. I don't know. We'll see. There's still. We still have some options. It's a large level. Well, fairly. So we're gonna have to remove this bridge entirely. Actually, joining is a little bit better. And we can actually remove the instant death. So let's see. Let's see, how are we going to create a... I kind of want to start a tunnel from here perhaps already. And just extending. And this is going to be like an issue. I have to redesign this. Because it has to like make a connection to this area right here. And maybe I can... Hold on, I can actually... Oh, we're gonna simplify this. That. Or even make it even more, like a little bit more natural flowing, like that. Remove some unnecessary vertices. There we go. Okay. I don't think it's really necessary to actually really that's a remnant from the non UDMF map format. I think, yeah, if it's not really necessary, I probably should stay away from it. Lift it up a little bit. I have a few like okay, so we're gonna lift this one up. See if we can actually improve this one a little bit. It's 3. Do we have like a nice trim or something? Let's see. That's 32. Okay, no worries. There we go. Just stretch it out. That might look better. Okay. And is this still, yeah, this looks good. Okay. Okay. That's not 32, so weird. Now, the thing is, like, initially I kind of designed this as a door. However, I got a better use for it. There we go. Oh, that's weird. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is actually, just for a little bit, remove this so we can actually see what we're doing. Okay. Now we're gonna probably make some adjustments, but let me show you real quick. So we did create some models, and I think you're gonna love this idea. Fan support. So what we're gonna do, now I'm gonna have to make an estimation, like This will probably be too big. Although it might just... Yeah, we're gonna have to rotate it. That's weird. Angle. Okay, so... Huh. That's what I wanted. So that's not really... two might be too much. One is obviously not enough. So 1.5. Here we can actually see what the damage is. Yeah. Ideally, it would fit right. 1.45. That is 4. Really? That almost fits like a charm. So what we're gonna do now is actually extend it. And of course you can see what I'm going for here. So we're gonna use a fan. And of course it has to have the same tag, the same scale. Not necessarily. Maybe we can even make it bigger. Okay, there we go. Like the rotation is always a little bit of experimenting you have to do. I'm not really sure if this is gonna look great. One thing would actually probably would look better if I have these two massive, like a massive, well, maybe. Let's first have a quick look, see how they behave. No, they behave as they should. There's not much, not much you're going to see probably, like the silhouette maybe. Unless I make it real, like huge. Okay. It can be arranged. They can spin indeed. That's pretty awesome indeed, yeah. So what I'm gonna do here is kind of create this massive construction here. Hold on just a second. Hold on just a second. I might have a better idea. Like, the thing is, if this is kind of like, if this is completely straight, rectangular, it doesn't look as interesting. So what we can do, this will require a little bit of experimentation. So we're gonna try some stuff out. I kind of want that like nice rounded off, like pipe structure. But it's like, I have to adjust, of course. Let's get rid of that one for a minute. It has the same texture as this one, so but that's okay. We can actually just, let's do it like that so it remains a little bit visible. So what I kind of want to do, I'll actually use this fan. Let's place it. Well, you know, I think, yeah, this is it. This is, there we go. Perfect. I don't really need to alter the thickness, just the size. I can actually stick it right there. Like, this is a little bit, yeah. Okay, well, I kind of want to make 3 of these. And to do that, let's select these. Oh, that's weird. Okay, one at a time then, no worries. Now the thing is, I have to use 3D sectors. And this is a bit like where the pain actually begins. Rid of that one. Actually, I want this as a reference because it's gonna determine. Yeah. Okay. So we kind of want to. Ideally, that is actually what I want. It's a little bit too big, I think. 2, 2. Oh wait, I don't have to scale it. I forgot. Yeah, I think 1.44 actually might be just like, maybe just. I don't think it's gonna get closer to what I want than this. Okay, so what I want to do now is, of course, create a 3D sector, and that is where the trouble starts. It has to be a sloped 3D sector. So I'm better off doing it like this. Create a rectangle. Although, maybe not, like with the UDMF map format, maybe not. Well, let's give this a tag. What do we want? We need 3 separate sectors. This one actually can be a triangle. Tag 1, are you kidding me? Is that unused? No. 68. Okay, so here it begins. Let's have a look. So we need this. We need to place this 3 times. Right here. Somewhere. Can't really. Is this running? Yeah, okay. So what we need now is actually another 3D sector, 2 of them at least. That actually run. You know what I'm trying to create? It is a. I kind of want to create 3 separate pipes. But let's first focus on, let's actually give this a new tag. Wait a minute. I wonder if I'm gonna try it, but I think I'm gonna need more. I'm gonna need more, 1. Is that really unused? Oh wait, I did, yeah, I did remove some sectors, so that makes sense. Kinda. Okay. So what I can do now, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah. works the other way around. The good part is that we kind of have a reference, maybe. Let's create the last one. So we're gonna need, we can't mirror them. And that's what I was afraid of. Let's see. That is weird. Okay, there we go. That's actually what I wanted. And they scale quite nicely, actually. Let's actually remove this tag because it gets me confused. I think that's better. So we keep this line. And I think, is it a matter of... yeah, and then we need something like that. Ah, wait a minute, I need to go even further, I think. Or I could, hold on. I think, can we meet in the middle? One, two. Yep. Unfortunately, the model doesn't really align all that well. So we're gonna have to make some adjustments. Like that. Let's bring them up here. Okay. Let's I think it's easier if we do it like this. Alright. Very strange slope. Let's reset that for a minute. Can we actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Somewhat. Well, it's gonna require a little bit of messing around, I guess. But we can use this as a base, that's fine. So we're gonna actually make our yeah, like that, so it's easier to actually make the shape more rounded. So we have this, right? Okay. So then easy. Yeah. Okay, and once we have this established, we can actually copy paste it and just change the height, and then we can create a separate. So we get one. Let's make it easy. So we get one here. Let's move them so it remains clear. All right. One for this side, and of course we need separate for this side. There. So what we need to do here is, this is for that one. So we're gonna give this a new tag. A new 70. So that's gonna be 70. So that means if I have to manipulate the other ones don't change, which is required for this. Okay, so now I can use them each individually, and they move in the direction that I want. So like that. And now the textures align fairly well, and actually I have what I wanted. And we can do the same. Now we just need to do the same for the upper part. And let's see. So I think it's like this. And this one like that. So that is basically our 3D sector. And the fun part is, hold on, did I, yeah, okay. So we got a nice 3D sector here. And let's see if I can actually, if I stack them. Okay, so how do I do that? Actually, we need to copy all of these. And the only thing I need to do height offset 128, for example. Is that correct? Dear God, no. Okay. This is, I have to do it manually apparently, because yeah. As you can see, this is pretty nasty, whatever is going on here. Okay, this is actually good. This is a good starting point, I think. Wait, I have to make sure there's no conflict here. Man. Oh, wait a minute, of course. I have to cut all of them. I offset 512. Let's reset. And there we go. So we got our parts right here. And now we need to start over. So the bottom part is actually connected to this. Now this is kind of like I need to figure out. I think this works best if I just add the shape again, just copy it. Make sure this moves up as well. Gives me a better idea of the angle. What, are you for real? Just cut off. Son of a... Maybe it's hold on. Yeah, in 3D view it doesn't work apparently. Okay. So that is absolutely correct. Okay, this is my starting point, and we'll go from here. There we go. Okay, so now we got it. Let's align the textures. Oh god. No, it probably has to do with this. Okay, so let's not worry about texture alignment just yet. Hopefully this works, because it's a bit of a hassle. Let's see, can we actually give it just for now a difference so I can actually see which parts. Okay, I think actually this alignment is okay. And do we need it? Where does it actually begin? Oh. Yeah, that's okay. I think it like this. I think it's like that. Okay. Oh my god, dude. This is gonna be a little bit of a problem, I guess. Oh, wait a minute, there is something off here. What is going on with this one? That is also a 3D floor. That's why hopefully, that's the reason why it doesn't work. No. You know, 3D editing tools, it's all fun and games, but, well, it's actually 2D editing tools. Trying to mimic 3D environments can be a pain. It's probably, you know, I kind of need to do the same here. These ones need to ride. Maybe it'll restore. I think, yeah, it might be this. Purely this. However, this one seems to be pretty off. For some very strange reason. But we'll come to that. And this is actually... Hold on. Okay, that's good. That's actually not fully, I see. Three. Okay. We'll see. We might have to change texture here. We'll see. Okay, so on to the next one. Could this be the correct one? Above. It's below. And the upper part actually. Wait. The third one, for the third one, we don't need like an actual 3D floor. Let's see. Man, this is kind of hard to. I wish I could just copy paste it. Like that. Is that correct? No. Right, let's reset these actually. It's so weird that it doesn't really. Oh, wait, maybe it's because of this one. There has to be something. So we got. Let's see. Let's actually manually. Let's manually do it. We can actually do that manually, unless no. Oh, that changes as well. Maybe upper or lower unpacked. I don't know. Otherwise, we would have to use a very generic texture. Or we could make it like an entire 3D model out of this. Then there would be no issue. That is also an option, but yeah, let's try to avoid that. I kind of want to use like models. If I'm making models, I kind of want to reuse them a few times at least. Otherwise, it's such a waste. So let's actually paint this in. Okay. I think the shape is. I think the shape is correct. Like that, and this one. Normally, there is something wrong with this shape. Or is it me? Well, let's actually find out if that's actually the case. I feel like there's something wrong with this. Ah, I see. I think I see. Hold on. No? No, it's weird. Yeah, there is something wrong here. I think that is... Yeah, that's better. That's better. Okay. So there we go. That is... that is actually... Not really sure if this is actually gonna work. Unless we do it manually. But it's, yeah. It's kind of weird that this one doesn't really... It should align normally. Ah, this affects it as well. Hold on just a second. Can we actually... it remains the same. So what I don't understand is... why these are like different. It doesn't make any sense to me. They all align except this one and that one. That is black magic. What the... Oh, that is so weird, man. Okay, so we need a texture that is fairly easy, as you can see. This one is not really a problem, as you can see, because it's pretty so we actually need to do like this and extend this, maybe. That's so weird. You know, I've had it with this. And I think I'm just gonna go with that. And we can use... This one is actually... The music, it's slightly actually... Oh yeah, I kind of missed your... You're absolutely right. That was exactly what I thought. Where the music is from, it is a 24/7, I think, chill stream. Let me put it there. There we go. Now the thing is, these are bright maps, and they will look probably quite good. Now for this one, I I kind of want to maybe. We can actually go with this. No, wait a minute. Huh? Is it? Huh? There is something not correct here. That is a floor. Okay. Where do? Oh wait. Oh yeah, this is the ceiling. Of course, it's because yeah. Okay. Never mind. Never mind. This is actually not what I. Yeah. Where is it? View ceiling textures. This one. As you can see, it is absolutely not easy. Doing this texture manipulation. However, the result is very good. Now, what is kind of weird oh wait, there are, oh that's, you know, wait, yeah, of course, makes sense. Floor, it's a floor texture. Oh wait, it's also, okay. I kind of get mixed up. With these, like, what is the actual floor? What is the 3D floor? But at the bottom, it's the actual floor. And then we have to scale it differently because it's stretched, because it's a slope. And of course, this counts as floor. Oh, we can actually do it like that. I know the Okay. That's good. Let's see, what is that? Is that a texture scale 2? Oh, probably has to be 2. Okay, okay, this is becoming a lot easier now. Oh. So that's how it looks. And this is with the 3D sectors enabled. Okay, so let's see what this brought us. And I think I'm gonna go with adding a dynamic light here. Let's reduce a few of them. Gonna move the rest to the center of well, right here. We can remove quite a few actually. There we go. Adjust this. Okay. All right, let's have a look from a distance. What the hell was that? Something dropped down? Of course, yeah. That is actually not a big deal. However, it does work. I wish I could actually make them turn like individually make them turn faster. Unfortunately, you cannot do that, or you have to create a separate model. Let's see, let's actually check out the script, because that is going to be... We're going to remove the set fade, because that is not really required anymore. There we go. Now it should be cleared. Apparently the script overrides the sectors. Okay. Unfortunately, the lighting is pretty bad. Like even this does not really do too much. And that is because Oh, wait a minute. What the hell is that? Let's see. Textures. That's even worse. Let's see. Brightness 96. It's weird. Why is this so bright? Oh wait, I see. Well, it's gonna be worse. What we can do is actually move this whole construction closer, so you can actually see what's going on. Or I could add some underwater lights, maybe? Like a spotlight or something? Not really sure if this will work. Well, that's a good question. Oh. What was the fade? 004 to 4080. I think I'm gonna like actually maybe like the silhouette is gonna pop a little bit because this one is actually, as you can see, like it stands out a little bit. Maybe, hopefully it will get better. Yeah, I think that, ooh, that's good. That's actually good. Like the texturing doesn't even really matter all that much here, as you can see. Spent so much time on that. This is actually way better. And why is that still? That is so weird. But like the silhouette is there, and I think that's actually what matters. Thank God. Okay, so why is this? It is 0. There we go. Almost there. Sure if this actually does anything special. I could try to increase the intensity of the lighting, maybe. 64, let's make it bigger. A little further away. No. Oh, that's weird. My why does this happen? That's so weird. Oh wait, I know why. It's yeah, because I moved the lights a little further out. What a mess. What a wonderful mess. I don't, you know, to be honest, not really sure this lighting's even necessary. Put some seaweed on there, whatever. No, never mind that. Okay. And then what we can do here, I'm not really sure if this will look good, but we're gonna try. Oh, wait a minute. I think this works better from the outside. Less interference. The only thing is... Oh, wait a minute. These textures don't really matter too much. Okay. So let's make a let's use the texture we had earlier. See if it looks great with the grid. If not, we're just gonna leave it out. Wrap middle texture. Where's my middle texture? Of course, we had a set on the back. I'm not really sure if this will actually do any good, but we'll see. I kind of want like the most... It kind of obscures a little too much, unfortunately. So the good part about all this is that we can actually just copy. Oh, son of a bitch, you gotta be kidding me. You can't even copy paste this? Are you for real? Is there anything that we can lock? Wait. Pin offset to 3D floors. Let's hope this does the trick. Apparently not. No, it's just for dragging. Dear Mother of God. Well, at least we do have an example. But the thing, like, the strange thing is, it uses the same at this I do not understand. Use the same handles, like what if I move these? If I move these right in the middle, does that make a difference? Shouldn't be, but if I move these, yeah, see, it doesn't make any difference. That is super weird. Don't tell me I have to do that all again for this parts as well. You gotta be kidding me, right? And I think it looks nice. I kind of want to keep it. But man, this is a lot more trouble than I thought. The thing is, it uses those triangles as a base, so if I were to change that part, then changes would occur on this one as well. So I have to create separate ones if I want to, like, then I think I'm just gonna stick to this and not make it double. Just move it in the middle. And what I can do, actually, what if I backlight the fan lights. It's actually not a bad idea. Let's actually try that. Why the hell not? Let's give this an intensity of 128 just to make sure. That might not be a bad idea, man. And what I can do here is actually to make that lighting like appear to come from like a little bit realistic, to make it appear like it's from a source. I can actually, that's actually pretty brilliant. Floor, the ceiling, hold on, this one. What do I have? Floor mode, ceiling. Floor mode. Okay, so let's cut that in half. First, actually, before I go all crazy with this, let's actually see if this light actually does something. No, it doesn't make a huge difference. Maybe a little bit, but it's neglectable. But it's a good, was a really good thought actually. Using backlights, yeah. Very good. It could have worked. It was definitely worth it. Thank you so much for the suggestion. It was definitely worth a shot. Okay, so what we can do here is actually work with pipes. Let's see if they can. Doesn't really matter. Actually, let's make this equal. And we're gonna add some pipes coming out of there. Let's see. Where did I place them up? Pipe straight. Okay. Let's make this a big boy. Double the size. Okay. This is the hard part. Okay. And the thing is, like, you don't really, it intersects, but that's fine. What I actually want to do, let's see. Kind of want to put them on the same level as the fans here. That kind of correct? Yeah. Okay, all good. And I think it looks really, like, this looks really good. And what would be cool, like, I can actually do, like, have the pipe go over, or underneath. We can have like a glass bottom. That would be cool as well, like a fully glass tunnel. So what we're gonna do, but that's gonna be a little bit of work here. So we're gonna need, oh, I forgot, always forget the rings. Always forget the ring. Now, I'm not really sure if this is actually necessary here. Here it is. There, you're probably not gonna even see it. So we're gonna just do it here. It doesn't matter which way it turns, because this is actually, you can use it for closing off, like it's just an interpiece, so to speak. There we go. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is actually start by going down. We need a lot of pieces here because I had some. I modeled the pipe parts in GZ Doom or Doom Builder directly. What you cannot do is create like a full 3D model. You have to make two halves. Like for this one, it's okay because you can. I modeled it like straight up, but for the corners, you have to use two halves because you have to create like a floor-based model. You have to draw it on the floor, and using slopes, you know, you have to create it like this. So I have to stitch them together. But that is quite alright. I kind of figured out, like, I had some trouble earlier with trying to find the correct angles, and it's still not easy because the roll and the pitch and everything that is kind of connected to it. It kind of depends on how you how you turn your model. But it's gotten a little, I kind of got used to it. But like you have to mirror certain things. Like, let's see if I can actually. Let's see, like there's one thing you have to do. I can't, for the love of God, I cannot remember. See, like this is what I mean. So the angle, I assume the angle you put it on minus. This is always a bit of a pain. As you can see, I have to mirror them, they have to match. There we go. So it's a kind of like, it's a little bit of experimentation. That's it. Like I should have probably spent some time making prefabs. Now what you see here actually has to do with the environment. We're gonna have to see what the sea height is, 216. So if we use the same thing, we're gonna have to like stick close. Wait a minute, it's not that one, it's the ring actually. That's weird. 264, that seems like a very decent number. That is weird. No idea what caused this anomaly. This shouldn't happen. Wait a minute. No. That is very strange. I do not have an explanation for that. Is there something wrong with the scale, perhaps? It's just 2. This is weird. Never had this happen before. Wait a minute, I think I know what's going on. Minus 24. Six. You have to do it manually, like 70, what is 74? No, 72, I think. Yeah, that is correct. See, it's a hassle. And now, of course, what we need to do actually, no, to put it up straight again, because I kind of want these things at the bottom. Okay, because they match these lines here. Follow the lines. Yeah, life as a level designer is not easy. Especially when you're working with 3D models in GZ Doom. Or UZ Doom. Ultimate Doom Builder. What the hell happened here? Dear mother. There is a disturbance again. But yeah, thankfully. Okay, so as you can see, building a simple pipe is absolutely not easy. And the thing is, we're not done yet. Now we have to flip it, but there is, again, no easy way, as you can see. So we have to flip the pieces individually, and hopefully one of these is enough, but apparently not. So it's kind of like trying to yeah, it's a little bit of puzzling. But hey, if it was easy, everybody would do it. So we're gonna check the Z height again, 36. $32, $30. $38, $39, $40. Is that correct? 40? Yeah, that is correct. Thankfully, because these are all like modeled on grid, it's pretty easy to eventually find them. See, like they change a little bit. And like this is really it gets messy real quick. So you have to see, like, you have to try to find, like, where does it fit? Where does it attach? I think here. Okay, so minus 52 for 48, of course, minus 48, because it dropped 8. And the thing is, like, you cannot create these pieces like, you cannot create one side of this because it is noticeable. I tried it, I checked it out. You have to do both sides, which is not, of course, these are just one part, so that's easy. But for these parts, the corners are the most annoying. But they look, I mean, it's really cool. I wish I just had one piece, you know, make it so much easier. Can't turn every piece, but and now I kind of want to. I am not really sure, like. We need to do minus 604. Where is my piece? Oh wait, it's right here. The roll. Yeah, okay. So I kind of, you will probably understand that I will do my absolute best to avoid making too many of these curves. But you know, the result is really cool. That is a fact. Oh no, not that. That's the wrong one. It's one ring. The thing is, it has specific problems with slopes. Minus 144. Yeah, okay. Where the hell? Oh wait, I thought I had some. It doesn't touch the bottom. Okay. There we go. Now that was the hardest part, I swear. After this, you know. But we have to go up again, and that's gonna be the same thing as always. So let's actually remove this bridge as well. Hold on, I have to make sure that it joins the correct. Yeah. Okay. So if you walk here on your glass 3D bridge, I'm gonna add like 3 major pipes coming out. So it's like I don't have to copy paste that. I was gonna say, you know, make my life easier, but I'm not really sure because these pipes are like the time it took me to actually just build this. Probably would have copy pasted this a lot sooner. So yeah, but I think it looks cool. Like I kind of don't want to use too much symmetry everywhere. So I think this is like a nice construction. I can actually draw some pipes here, so the landscape is doesn't really look like a massive void. So you have some actually geometry running through. So that's pretty cool. So what we need to do is actually figure out, and we can actually create some very nice bubbles here on these pipes. And these are actually always, like, they work really well underwater, I think. Well, if you put them underneath here. So, I'm gonna end the stream here. I think the most important part, what we did today, is actually start working on this area, which I knew was gonna, you know, be a little bit of like a lot more trouble than this starting area right here. But you know, it did set like the scene I wanted to go with. So at least I know how to proceed, which kind of like how I want the view to be. So that's actually pretty cool. And like what I do like is the fact that you don't need any detail here. The ceiling, because first I wanted to, like, you know, if I were to just keep this original design here with the sky, I would have created like a ton of sector portals to make, you know, like structures in the sky. But here, this actually allows me to, yeah, 2 hours actually, time flies by. Absolutely, and it feels like, you know, I haven't really done that much when it comes to, well, actually design wise, like, you know, the level itself. But the thing is, like, the level is actually well, for the most part finished. I'm just remastering it. But you know, it's a different setting. So it's definitely like I'm using 3D models here, which I didn't use before in the original maps, and new techniques as well. Like this was originally built for just ZDoom, I think, or maybe GZDoom, but not in the UDMF map format. Didn't use a lot of scripting. Still old school, slope techniques and stuff like that. So I think the maps could benefit from a remaster. But the thing is, like, what takes, I think, most time is really come up with like an interesting scene. But once you know what you want to build, like the setting, the theme, general theme of the map, then it gets a lot easier. For example, these are like huge open areas which basically just need a little bit of shading, ocean shade like this, and you're basically done. So you can actually, like this whole part here is pretty easy to finish. These ones kind of like, because you are here in the underwater base, so I don't have to constantly remind you that you're in an underwater base, so I can basically leave most of these areas here. Well, I'm gonna do a proper retexturing, but I don't really have to change them dramatically like I did with here the sky, for example. That's a dramatic change. We go from like a desert setting to an underwater setting. But if you compare, like, I think this map could really benefit from that, because otherwise I said it during earlier streams that the map 1 and this map in theme, they look very, very similar, and I try to do like just a little thing, just a little bit different, while still keeping the general look of the episodes the same. And I mostly do that by trying to sticking to certain textures that are dominating in an episode to give that like distinct feeling that you're on a different planet. And you can actually do that easy, because what helps a lot is, of course, the skybox, which makes it convincing that you're on a different planet. And then the building structures, like the way you design the buildings on this planet. And one important part, and that's actually the easiest part, is the rock textures. The outdoor area, so to speak. Because if you look at this, I used a specific set of rock textures, and I didn't use them again in episode 2. Like if you look at episode 2, map 2, for example. Okay, let's open it without GZDoom. Yeah. So if you look at here, like these rock textures, they're vastly different. And of course the skybox as well. But this gives you immediately the feeling that you're on a different planet. These building structures, they're like different as well. Use different textures here, as you can see, like the shapes of the building, it's all different. And this really like conveys the feeling that this is like a different planet you're on. And I need to do the same for episode 3, but you get the idea. And the other levels in this episode kind of are, well, there are some differences, of course, but for consistency, like the rocks, the rock textures, the liquids, and the general, the way the buildings are constructed, like which materials are used, for example, which resources, I kind of try to keep it pretty consistent. So you can actually, put them in 3 separate categories, so to speak. If you play a level from episode 2, let's say you play 6 levels in total, 2 from each episode, you will know just by playing the levels to which episode they belong. Clearly. So that's kind of what I want to go for. But yeah, I think, initially episode 2 is already finished. And I wanted to bring episode 1 up to speed. Or up to speed. Like bring it to the same quality level as episode 2. Because episode 1 was released a few years before episode 2, and a lot of things changed. Like I learned new techniques, I gotten better at, level design in general. Because episode 1 was kind of like, I think more than 12 years ago I started working on episode 1. So a lot of things changed, and I kind of wanted to reflect that in the remaster. So before I release episode 3, I wanted to bring episode 1 up to the same quality level, and then using everything I learned to actually make like a killer episode, final episode for the project. All right, well, thank you so much for joining. Thank you for the tips and the ideas for the backlighting and stuff. Been really helpful and interesting. Of course, it didn't work, unfortunately, but it's an interesting train of thought. And I look forward to seeing you again soon. I will be streaming next week normally. Maybe this weekend. Could be. I pop in like an hour and a half or so. So if that's the case, I'll be seeing you this weekend somewhere. If not, it's gonna be for next week, but I'm gonna try. Right, thank you so much for watching, and until next time.